Hello, everyone. How's it going? It's your host, Divonis here with Trip Sitting Podcast, here to inoculate you with some new knowledge. And today, I'm here to bring you another mushroom showcase since you guys seem to love that one I did last week. And today, we're going to have it on the Amanita Muscaria, aka the fly aragic. Aragic, however you want to say it. You know, pronunciations are kind of varied depending on not race, but region that you're from, area that you're from, all that nature. So, they have scientific names, but, pronounce them however you want. I don't really care. Anyways, let's go over the basic physical profile of Amanita before we go into the more nitty gritty of it. Anyway, so most people might know Amanita Muscaria or fly aragic from the classic Mario video games, the really bright red mushrooms with the white circles on them. Well, believe it or not, those are actually real, and they're also as beautiful as they are in the games. They feature a bright red cap with the white spots on it that, depending on how severe the rain is, there might be white spots on there, there might not be white spots. It just depends on how heavy the rain is in the area. The stem is typically white, really white. The gills are, for the most part, they're crowded gills. They're free or they're free or crowded, it just really depends. For the most part, they're like semi-crowded, I would say. The stem is, like I said, fully white. And one thing about this mushroom that sets it apart from a lot of other mushrooms, which also help you realize if it's a poisonous amanita, which is poisonous in general, is the vulva at the bottom of the amanita. And in some cases, the vulva is not an indicator that it is a poisonous mushroom. But for the most part, amanitas who have vulvas are considered to be poisonous. And Amanita muscaria is no different. Amanita muscaria, if it's not prepared properly, it can be poisonous and fatal to humans. Well, it depends on how much you take, but for the most part, it can be poisonous to people, causing intestinal discomfort, things of that nature, nausea. So yeah, make sure if you're going to go out and find these, to make sure that you are preparing them in a proper way to where they won't cause you any bodily harm. People mainly use these mushrooms for rituals, or if they want to experience a visionary experience with these drugs, with these plants. I said drugs, then I said plants. Those are both wrong. So, mushrooms are not plants. They're not plants. They just got declassified from that, like probably 30, 40 years ago. They're not plants. They're their own genus. So my apologies. They're not a drug and they're not a plant. Someone in my comment section last podcast kind of got on me for calling psychedelic mushrooms a drug. And you know what? That's very true, because the only reason they are classified as quote unquote drugs is because humans have put that title on them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad or dangerous. Obviously they're dangerous, but we obviously also know how to prepare them so that they're not dangerous and that you can get the benefits from them. Anyways, now that I'm off that tangent, let me just continue to talk about the Amanita muscaria. You see, the thing about the Amanita muscaria that's really different than psilocybin mushrooms is I've heard that the trip is a lot different and a lot more physical. I wouldn't know because I live in Texas and apparently they don't really grow here, so I don't know. But if you've ever had fly aragic, or you know of the effects more than I do, then you probably can say that is true or false or not. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, anyways, where do these places usually grow? Where do these usually grow? These mushrooms are actually pretty widespread in North America, except for where I live, apparently. Yeah, well, you can find them in most states in North America, at least like 30 of them. And I say most, 30, and there's 50 states, which I guess that's not technically most, but relatively. But yeah, you can find them in a lot of places, and you can even find some of them in Alaska, which is insane. But those are from fairy tales, so we don't know if those are actually true or not. But hey, if they're depicted in that area from such a long time ago, then hey man, there must be some validity to that claim. Anyways, their caps grow about 2.5 to 6 inches, and they can be up to 10 inches wide, and the stem can be 3.8 to 8 inches in height and 0.5 inch to 1 inch in width. And these are relative, obviously. Some can grow smaller, some can go bigger. These are just like general numbers. The habitat that these are usually growing in, they grow near trees, which, makes them a form of. I'm sorry, guys. I told you this in another episode. I'm not the best at pronouncing these words. Mycorrhizal. I think I'm saying that right. Whenever they mutually benefit from the trees, they're not sapropomorphic, where they're like kind of. Did I say that right? Saprotrophic. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. I just woke up, went to the gym and all that, so my brain is still kind of foggy. But anyways, yeah, they're not like the other mushrooms that I was saying, where they don't benefit the trees, they only benefit themselves. But yeah, they kind of help the ecosystem, which I believe that's what. Let me look that up real quickly, so I'm not giving you guys false information. So please hold tight while I'm searching this up. How you guys doing? I know you cannot respond to me right now, but you know what? Just like I'm being crazy and talking to the microphone by myself, can y'all just do me a favor and just answer how you doing out loud to me, so that I don't feel crazy by myself? All right, so the word rhizomorph means fungus root. To be specific, mycorrhizal are fungi that have a symbolic relationship with the roots of many plants. The fungus which commonly forms mycorrhizal relationship with plants are. Okay, so yeah, like I was right. Okay, I didn't want to spread you guys any false information. So yeah, they benefit the trees that they're around. So yeah, these mushrooms also have a kind of weird history and background to them. It was Christmas, and I don't know if this is true or not. I've only seen this in like urban legends and fairy tales, but apparently Christmas is based off of gifting people Amanita Muscaria back in the day. So the Christmas tree, obviously, it's always been the Christmas tree, the pine tree. And apparently a lot of these mushrooms grow at the base of these pine trees. So people were saying that the quote-unquote presents for Christmas were these mushrooms that were at the bottom of these trees growing. Which is why, we wrap our gifts up nicely and brightly. Which, I don't know how valid that actually is. Like I said, I've only seen that in fairy tales or like urban legends. But y'all guys let me know if that's real. But anyways, let me wrap up this episode by saying, yes, Defy Argic is a beautiful mushroom. It does contain psychedelic properties, not psilocybin though. Let me actually give you guys what it actually contains. Let me look that up real quick. I don't want to also spread false information. Muscaria. Compounds. All right, guys, let's see. Oh, so it contains musculin. No, I said that so wrong. Muscarine. I think I did say that right. Muscarine, ibotenic acid, and muscimol. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really bad with pronouncing scientific words. As you guys know that. I will leave the names of them in the in the description of this podcast episode. Anyways, I know this is kind of a dysfunctional episode, so let me just recap everything right now. Amanita muscaria, also known as Phi argic, you can find it in many parts of North America and in lots of parts in Europe as well. It is bright red at the cap with white spots on it, depending on if it rained or not. If it rained a lot, there probably won't be as many white spots as if it didn't rain as much. The stem is a nice bright white down the whole base, except for at the end of it where it has this thing called a vulva. Which I guess this is part of when the partial veil was connected to the mushroom, and whenever it split from it, that part of the partial veil, instead of going to the middle of the stem, I guess it went to the vulva, but I'm not entirely sure. Because I think some of them actually do have that part where the partial veil was from. Y'all let me know. Anyways, these grow in troops or rings near its partner tree during the summer or autumn season. Also, I want to mention that I'm getting all of this information from this book called Mushrooms, How to Identify and Gather Wild Mushrooms and Other Fungi by, let's find the author. Where is the author? I'm going to be real with you guys. I do not know how to pronounce that. Thomas Læssøe. I'm sorry. It's like probably Norwegian. So like it has that little letter with the A and the E are together. So sorry guys, my American brain couldn't comprehend that. But anyways, this has been a crazy episode. Anyways, this has been your boy Divonis. And sorry for the dysfunctional episode. My mind was kind of racing, but I still hope you guys got all the information you needed from this episode. I'm not going to cut it because, I like to keep my episodes organic, natural. I don't want this to feel too professional. I want people to not feel intimidated about learning about mushrooms and mycology. And you're seeing my carefree, lackadaisical nature, but also trying to give you guys the most accurate information. That's kind of the blend I want to do. Anyways, this has been your host, Divonis with Trip Sitting. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Please let me know what you want to see in the comment section below. Thank you.